Hey, Kevin.
Oh, hey, Bobby. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Um, so the 9 o'clock meeting didn't happen.
No, there was a confusion. I should have. I sort of assumed everybody would automatically realize it was this one, and it was a mistake.
So just understand, no problem. You originally sent out a like a Google Meet invite.
I have a Google Meet. I have a Zoom link in there. Hang on, let me tell people to. Okay.
I want to make sure that they know to use this one.
Oh, there is a Google Meet. Hang on, let me just go there and tell people to go to the Zoom link.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're right. Everybody's here.
Hey, Buffy.
Hey.
So there's a whole bunch of people here at 9.
Yeah. That was my fault. Hey, Anu and Kevin, I screwed up. Come to the Zoom link here. I'll put it in the chat window. Give me 1 sec. I had the Zoom link and I didn't realize that Google had automatically snuck in the yeah, I just screwed up everything on this meeting. Hang on. Man, Kevin, I'm glad you told me that. Come to the Zoom link. Kevin, Anu, can you hear me?
Yes, so get out of this one and go to the Zoom link.
Yes, please. The regular ODSA Zoom.
Got it, thanks.
Hey, Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Would you mind coming to the Zoom link, please?
I am in the Zoom link.
Oh, all right. Perfect. Then we can hang up here.
Sorry, which Zoom you're talking about, Bapi?
The one we're on. Okay, it's a long story. The stupid Google included a Zoom here, Hangouts automatically, and I didn't check.
It's a feature.
It is a feature, very helpful feature. I like it. But except today. Wait, didn't we have somebody else? I thought I could have sworn I saw one more name. Huh. Okay, let me check who said yes. Hey, Anu, Kevin, while you're here.
Hey, Bobby, can you hear me?
Yes, now I will figure out where I can hear you.
It's very faint, whoever that was.
That was Kevin. It sounded like Kevin.
I think it was Ajit.
Shahab, maybe?
No.
Sounds like another bridge sneaking in your PC.
Oh no, I'm on the Google Hangouts. Hang on. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah,
Is
it's
Kevin
Kevin from the
you?
Google.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. But no, you come to the Zoom bridge, Zoom thing, the one in the chat window.
Oh, this is Zoom Bridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, we had a Kevin aliasing problem. Okay, Kevin,
Yeah.
you did the wrong Kevin said I am on the Zoom bridge when I said come to the Zoom bridge. Okay.
This is Kevin Yee.
Yeah. No. When I said Kevin come to the Zoom bridge, he said I am on the Zoom bridge, and then I thought that was you. We had a Kevin aliasing problem. Right.
Kevin Yee and Kevin Donnelly, yep.
No, it's here. It was in the invite, but look in the chat window.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Okay, let me put it again.
I got it.
You got it. Okay. See, when I said, Kevin, can you come to Zoom link? And the other Kevin said, I'm already on it. I was like, okay, problem solved. Okay, who else are we waiting? We're waiting for someone from Alpha Wave, I think. And Letitia accepted. So let's give her a minute or so. And Elad. Oh, that's right. Elad. I got to chase Elad down. So Kevin and Anu, is Kevin from Samsung on? Yes. So there's a guy from Booz Allen Hamilton who took some incredibly detailed notes of the panel. I mean, he took incredibly detailed notes of the whole day. So pretty much I'm just going to publish those. But he also took incredible detailed notes of the panel. So what I did was, since we said it was not recorded, I thought you guys made important points. So I went through and deleted anything that sounded like identifying information, but kept the bulk of your content in there. Is that something you can live with?
Yeah, I don't
Can
think
you
I
send
said
it us to
anything.
just look at?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
basically,
mean,
wherever
well,
you,
I think Kevin made some pretty interesting remarks, so he might want to really watch out.
no, yeah, wherever he said,
I-
at the foundry,
I think I'm
deleted that.
okay. I think I'm okay though.
Yeah, I deleted everything where there was anything where somebody could tie it to a person, as far as I could tell. I went through it, but the notes are really good. This guy, my God. Okay. We're waiting for, all right, we'll give.
But
it's
by
already
the way,
nine-
Bobby, a lot of people are asking about the slides and video.
Yeah, so actually it's you guys. It's the optical session guys who haven't gone back to me. Everybody else has.
Okay, I will chase them then.
Nat and Saeed, basically.
Okay, I will follow up with them.
Okay, let's get started. Letitia will. So the purpose of this meeting, okay, there's nobody on the Google Hangouts, so I'm gonna hang up. Come back to Zoom. Okay, so the purpose of this meeting, Milad, if you don't mind asking, who are you with, please?
Hello, yeah, I'm working with Majid actually, so I'm
Oh,
from Kendu.
okay. You're not from
Kendu,
Alpha. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks.
We don't have anybody from Alpha Way, but other than that, I think, and then Elad, but we can get Elad to do stuff. So that's not as much of a problem.
Oh, you had somebody from Synopsys also on that.
Oh, right, Madhumita and Li Hong. Li Hong accepted. All right, let's get going, and then we'll rope them. And usually the first meeting is bumpy. So oh, Li Hong is here. All right, perfect timing. So we've got we wanted to put together a white paper that we can release in Q1 of next year on methodology. And so what we're thinking is that we would come up with a consensus way of defining parameters of interest and then describe them and glue all those descriptions together into a methodology white paper. That's sort of roughly the plan in a nutshell. And what I wanted to do in this meeting was essentially share that, at least agree on what parameters are interesting, and see if we can have a plan, a way to split them, and see if there's any other parameters we need to work out logistics basically in this meeting for nothing else. Does that make sense to everybody? Shahab, do you want me to share it, or do you want to share your screen? Which way do you want to go?
I have it open if you do have it share, otherwise I can share.
Okay, then but let me go around and say, go around the questions before we jump right into the spreadsheet. Any questions, thoughts across the board from everyone? First off, does everybody know everybody else? You should, right?
We do.
Okay. So the point here is to sort of come up with a list of parameters. Is this something all of you works for everybody else, everybody on the call? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
Okay. So then what we want to do today is agree on which parameter. And so, what we were thinking, what I was thinking was that each of us, when I say each of us, I mean each of you.
Bobby, before assigning, I think.
No, I'm not going to assign anything. I'm just sort of saying this is the intent, that everybody, rather than one person defining everything, rather than a community, and then going through this, that each of you could take off one parameter and come back with a definition proposal. But yeah, go ahead, Shahab.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we are capturing everything before we go and define things. I think it's okay if we spend one meeting or maximum 2 meetings to identify if anything is missing, and then we can assign and basically come up with the definition for each of them, if you guys are agree with it.
Sounds good to me.
Are you okay with it, Bobby and you, Kevin, everybody on call?
Let me put Li Hong on the spot since she wasn't at the workshop. I just want to make sure she's in sync and everything. Li Hong, does this make sense to you?
Yes, and thank you. I just, I need some time to go
Yep.
through, but I just quickly go through it, and I think, yes, it makes sense.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
No one asking that because he'll disagree just as a matter of principle.
Well, fortunately for you, I'm in the car, so I can't actually see any of the any of the entries. So.
But I have your note, Elad. You know, the one
Sounds
that you
good,
wanted to add here.
Okay,
That's fine.
great.
I
Thank
just
you.
want to make sure we are capturing everything.
Yep.
I can go over basically this maybe in 1 minute what we are capturing, and then we can basically go around the call and see if we are missing any parameters. I think the first set of parameters that we are capturing is just describing the file. For example, what kind of clock data rate it is it serial or parallel, differential, single-ended, NRZ, PAM4, or bidirectional? You know, these are mainly top-level architecture, basically, questions. Clock forwarding, termination, maturity of the IP, silicon
So
stack.
maturity, I don't understand. What does that have to do with describing a file?
This is basically, we want to make sure that are there single vendor, is a spec under development, spec is available, IP is available. At what stage is this IP basically?
Let's do one thing, Shahab. Let's mark in yellow everything that elicits a discussion so that we can at least agree on the non-controversial ones for now, and then come back.
If we're trying to describe, are we trying to describe FIs? Or trying to describe an individual company's product offerings? I mean,
It was both. It ended up being both.
yeah, well, but I think that's a mistake. So trying to do
Maybe.
both seems
Maybe.
like if we're trying to come up with characteristics to describe FIs, anyways, I agree, Shab, that clocking rate and serial versus parallel swing, these are all good ways to describe any FI anywhere.
Maybe
I'm just confused on the intent, maybe.
Sure, I will
you keep
explain a
going.
little bit if you want now or later why we had this. That there was a small reason behind it. If you look at our old 2020, 2021 Excel sheet, right now we do have at least 4 or 5 players that they are no longer exist. Basically, it was a one company coming with one file, and it got basically to the definition and everything. And maybe some of the other companies actually follow and adopt, but they vanished, and there is no support, no future version, and it was only a single vendor. At that time, it's not a bad idea to see how mature it is, this spec. And we had some also FIs that they are just at the spec level. They just write down something, it never got implemented, never got measured. The intention was to identify those. But if you guys think this is not the right place to capture it.
No, let's not. Shab, my vote is let's not reach a decision now. Let's just go through the list and see where the points of disagreement are.
Okay, then I keep this one yellow.
But Kevin, to your point, we started this as a standard comparison spreadsheet, and now we're sort of devolving it into a FI comparison methodology white paper. So this list was from the standards, and some of these may have to be tossed around for a methodology white paper.
Okay.
Then
so
the next
bear that factor in mind. That's the history of this list.
Yes, I guess just following up on that, the intent would be that the metrics are the range that the standard requires, or what is measured for an implementation of the standard.
I want to say that it's basically a list of information associated with the to any file. That when you are saying, okay, there is a file or there is a standard, these are the list of parameters that we like to see. or as a basically buyer would like to see this kind of list when they are making the decision. And remember, most of them are not basically by developer, they are system architect.
So for the white paper, I think we go towards FIs rather than standards personally. But that's that you remove the things that are measuring standards and just focus on the methodology for evaluating FIs itself.
Yeah, I agree.
So with that in mind, I would say 13, 14, and 15. I agree. That's something we want. Maybe we put it in a different category though. I'm just thinking the other stuff in terms of measure or more generic that you want about all FIs. And then this is kind of a different category, 13, 14, 15. Definitely that's something you want to know, but it might not fit in the same. These are more specific to products versus the other ones are more generic in nature, can apply to anything.
Right, but we are sort of okay, let's just go rather than debate. Let's go through the list because it's a decent list, and we'll come back and just mark on yellows. I like that.
Okay, how about being open? I think this is also the same thing. Is it open FI
Yeah.
or licensing?
No, open proprietary
This
matters,
is-
right? Okay, but anyway, we'll just never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
I think open is not yellow, and I think licensing is yellow, at least for my position.
But wait, but as a buyer, don't you want? Okay, let's yellow out and then we come back. It's hard to resist the temptation, but I will fight it.
Organization if open. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna argue and provide reasoning, but you guys tell if I hear someone wants this to be yellow, just say it. I will make it yellow and we come back.
So maybe just one thing that I guess is not at some point we will have to explicitly define the boundary of what a FI includes and what it doesn't. Because obviously there's things, there's all kinds of things that somebody could decide is inside the FI boundary line versus not. So we just somewhere we'll have to define that.
So you want to add an item defining what is in the FI, what's out, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's there's a few different ways we can do it. It's either it's just like a line where people just enter in text what it is they have, or we can attempt to decide categories of functionality. And obviously there's pluses and minuses to both of those approaches, but yeah, somewhere we will have to just be clear about what's the dividing line, because there are definitely games people will play with what they count versus not.
Well, I think that's the intent of this, is that if we specify how to measure this correctly, then everyone will have, I think that will be an implied output of this exercise.
Yeah, no, in general, I totally agree. I think where some of these things get tricky is, for example, somebody may decide that the error correction is part of the FI, and somebody else may decide that it's part of the link layer. And then a FI may be implemented without error correction, and a different one may be implemented with. So, it maybe just be like, I think we can definitely do a good job of clarifying, what it is that we intend to include versus not. But there will be cases where somebody built something that we probably hadn't thought of, and there may be some fuzziness there. So perhaps that implies that we should have both everything that we know of be very concrete and say, yeah, this is in or out, and things that we don't, just sort of leave a field for people to say, well, here's this thing that's included that will influence other results.
I 100% agree, Elad. I think it's worth actually we spend at least one paragraph or half a page to explain what is the FI, what are the different layer, and where we are basically fitting into.
You should maybe word it as the scope of the FI.
Yeah, I also I kind of have the same questions, so maybe we need to give the scope of definition about the FI. I totally agree with you, because what kind of information we should including, like, repair, training, and configuration. So if we define the configuration, we talk about what we want to cover, I think then we can make the input.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I'm such an idiot. I forgot to invite Ravi to this meeting. Okay, never mind.
No, he was on the list.
Oh, he was on the list? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then I don't feel so bad. All right.
No,
Okay,
you gotta pay me to make you feel better.
Awesome, thanks.
should we define right now what do we mean by phi, or should we move on to the list and
I think
get
it's good to add the examples that was mentioned here, like what Alad mentioned, so that we remember what we mean by the scope. For example, you mentioned
Yeah, like right.
FEC and logical.
Yeah, ECC versus not. Sort of asynchronous FIFOs versus not. Style of clocking between the quote unquote phi and the rest of the SOC. A synthesized RTL versus only the custom, right? There's just and I'm not trying to make decisions on any of these, just throwing out sort of some of the things that may be considered in or out of the boundary.
Is this a spreadsheet you can send a link to after the meeting so we can be reviewing it?
yeah, we can do that. Again, to get back and move forward,
Yeah.
my recommendation is that we go once through all this 10-20 list that we have, at least get the feeling, and then come back basically to the missing points, like what is phi and what other options, and at least we identify the disagreement among the team. Is it okay?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yes.
And
We've only got about 7 minutes left, so.
correct.
So, yeah, I'm fine with all the open and organization and reference if it's, compliance. I don't know what compliance means.
For example, if your phi is it backwards compatible to, let's say, HBI or bunch of wire, but it's not bunch of wire.
Ah, okay. Like it's what was the word you used? It's derived from or something. Yeah, I see.
Or superset.
Yeah.
Yeah, superset. Okay, got it. I didn't know what that meant.
Then what
Because
kind
we
of
can
package?
say there's no compliance testing for UCIe yet, but there will be someday. But that's not what you meant. Okay, I got
I
it.
hope. I hope that.
Package technology, yep, I understand. Comment, fine. Okay.
Okay, these are the basically generic top level information, and then we're gonna get to a little bit under the hood, number of data lanes, number of data wires, number of clock wires, number of other wires, mandatory sideband, number of
So
lanes.
data wires and data lanes is the same if it's
And
single
no,
ended?
we do have a definition for that in the past, and we have a presentation. What do we mean by number of data
okay.
link, number of wire link?
Sideband, targeted speed per data lane. Okay.
There might be, at the risk of doing what you said not to do, there might also be sort of, how should I say this? How many unit elements, like what's the smallest unit element, and or how unit elements are sort of put together, and right, some of the parameters may turn out to be variant as you sort of either tile or whatever more of these elements. So it might be good to try and capture some of that. In other words, I assume most of the parameters we're talking about now are sort of referring to at a per unit element basis. And there may be some things that matter, how many unit elements there actually are.
Correct.
It is a
might have
slice,
something.
a slice, an example, what you mean by unit element?
Yeah, I was trying to be more generic, but yes, in BOW terminology, it's a slice.
I see. So number of data lanes in a slice, and then if you stack 4 slices, there could be 4 times as many data lanes in a phi. So
Yeah, or something
how does
like
that show up?
there's some global clock power you need to spend, or there's some other functionality you need, or whatever.
So how does that show up here? I don't.
I think.
Yeah, I think that was.
At least we
Sorry,
have
go ahead,
one
John.
line about it, but if we get there, then you guys.
Max stacked units, okay, I see.
But we can go in more details if you.
But I also have a questions, regarding, so you list the, the parameters. So yeah, we talk about, how many, maybe the modules, 1, 2, or 4 over 3. But so besides the speed per lane, we also need to talk about, the bandwidth or, the power kind of,
Yeah, we get to the
which
power.
parameters?
This was just basically a definition of the one slice or one
Oh,
unit element.
oh,
And then
I
we
see.
get to a little bit more about the physical geometry here and power and reach into the next section here.
Oh, I see.
Because
Okay.
these parameters is nothing to do with technology. You can
Mhm.
implement the same number of wires in 16 nanometer, 5 nanometers, whatever it is. But from here to the down, these are actually related to the technology that you are picking. That's why we made it in 2 categories. This is a little bit top level link architecture question. How
Okay.
many
So
sidebands, what's the target speed, those kind of.
I see. Do you also, maybe, you're including somewhere. So do you also, talk about, the speed 16, 34, 64, right? Somewhere you cover to
Yes.
support. Okay.
Down somewhere. So
Oh, okay.
it's somewhere in here, speed per lane or something. Oh, right
Okay.
there, row 30.
Target the speed per data.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hey, we're down to 2 minutes. I've got a logistics question. Is this time work for everyone?
Yes, for me.
Yes, but I think there is a change of time zone, but yeah, it should work for us as well.
Oh, that's right. We're going to fall back. Okay. And second question, should we keep it at least weekly until we get all this first order discussion out of the way, and then we slow down to bi-weekly? Does that make sense?
So I can only do bi-weekly.
You can only do
Every
bi-weekly.
alternate week I have the same time slot, 9 to 10, a different meeting. So
Got it. Okay. But what's the preference? Do we do weekly and catch Anu up, or do we do bi-weekly? Either one works, but let's all agree on something.
Yeah, I think we need to make some good progress in the beginning.
Okay. Anybody else want to not do weekly? Bi-weekly? Excuse me, not to do weekly?
Would this replace the spreadsheet meeting for?
Yes, this is instead of.
Instead of, oh, okay. That works then for me.
This is instead of, and I'll change it in the calendar. Yeah, so I'll ask everybody to get on the ODSA calendar so that I don't set up a separate meeting. I'll send email to everyone, say just join this.
Yeah, it works for me for weekly right now.
Okay. Thanks, Shab. Then, all right, then we can pick this up, and maybe we'll start with 30 minutes and hopefully knock as much as we can out of this.
Okay,
Sounds
thank
good.
you, everyone. I will send this Excel sheet, and also I will send a presentation, which last time we defined what do we mean by number of lanes and those kind of things. If you read
That would help.
that would be
Thanks,
great.
Shahab. Thanks.
also Shahab, so does this mean the regular day-to-day fight comparison meeting is this is instead of that, right?
This is instead of that. I'm going to change it in the calendar.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'll go change that, edit that in the calendar.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Lee Hong, for attending.